Hi Kiwi, alright, we are back at another episode of Hades 1, and today we are going to be running the aspect of Eris on the rail. We're going to take the Palm Blossom and let RNG decide whatever we're going to build. Kind of in the mood for a Zeus run, but I think I'll just let RNG get the final say. We'll take 2 levels of damage control, because I think I can manage that on the rail well enough. And we'll take 1 level of tight deadline, 3 levels of extreme measures, middle management, benefits package, and maxing out jury summons, and let's see how that goes.
Well then, let's get to work.
After the last couple runs...
Why am I never proud of you? Don't take it personally, boy. I'm never proud of anything. Pride is perhaps our family's worst trait. See how many mortals are with us because of it.
After the last run in a pretty busy week, actually this is my first time recording Hades in maybe like a week or two, actually.
The might and fury of Olympus courses through you, noble cousin.
I'm just feeling like having a nice casual run would do me some good. Not really excited by any of these. I'm gonna reroll and see if I can get either a higher rarity attack or a better special.
Hey, got anything else?
We'll take her special, yeah. I don't really feel her attack doing that well on the Eris rail. Honestly, if I could get a Zeus attack, I'd be pretty into that. I had honestly considered just taking the Zeus keepsake and going full casual for this run, but let's at least have a little bit of fun with what RNG can bring and see where the game ends up, because what I love about Hades is you really can have a lot of control over what should otherwise be a roguelike run between the mirror perks and the keepsakes, the god keepsakes specifically, that can kind of force RNG to sort of favor what you want. Alright, Poseidon. We don't often do a Poseidon-Athena combo. I guess I could potentially go with Super Soaker. I've never done Super Soaker on Eris. I don't know if it works nearly as well. I imagine it doesn't, but it's still... I mean, it's Eris. It's going to be one of the strongest aspects in the game. It's not like it's going to be a bad build, per se. Just maybe not as strong as when you run it on Lucifer.
So how is crusty old Hades faring down there of late, nephew? Fewer worries there upon his brow? That underworld of yours all running smoothly and all that? We'll keep on pitching in from over here. Least we can do.
Let's see. The weakest attack boon on a build that I don't really want enemies pushed away. I'm not super enthused by that. I could just go for the meta progression, take Sunken Treasure. Anything fun I can do with his cast? I'm not really feeling it. Alright, we'll take Sunken Treasure. We'll see what else we get offered down the road with duos and such.
5-second rule. That was 5 seconds, right?
I'm just feeling... Today, I just want to have like a super chill, kind of casual run. I'm not going for a broken build or a crazy synergy. I wanted to play Hades. And so I'm playing Hades. It's been a long week. I'm fairly tired, and I think for now, I want to play my comfort game, and I think that's okay. You know, not every episode has to be a banger, and who knows? With the way RNG is in this game, maybe we find ourselves into a ridiculously strong build nonetheless. I can't predict how... You can't fully predict how these games will run. I mean, like I said, there is as far as roguelikes go, Hades does offer you an impressive amount of control over how to direct your runs. Oh my goodness, this is a lot. Wait, I have a reflecting special. I should use that. But that's okay. It's okay if I don't know where this run is gonna go. I guess well, another palm level or more HP. Let's get some stacks on the special for now. Maybe we get offered a trade down the road and we can upgrade it, or we get a good hammer and it lets us get cluster rockets again. That would be awesome. Right now I'm not feeling that strong on the attack, but my special does do damage. I triple bomb, cluster bomb, rocket bomb, of course. All of those will substantially up our DPS. We just need to land them.
A palm of power.
I have no intent of focusing on a special build unless the game kind of affords me the hammers to do so. It's just kind of how things have worked out so far, so I'm not complaining, mind you. I just... Oh, anyway. I guess before I just say the same thing over and over again, why don't we switch topics? What can I talk about today? So, since we're talking about just being chill and hanging out today, I am neck deeps into leagues on RuneScape, and I've never done a leagues before. So old school RuneScape does this thing where they have a custom server where the experience rates and combat and drop rates and all those things are just increased by a pretty substantial modifier. Like, combat experience is currently at like 24 times normal experience. Most other experience I'm gaining in the game is 16 times. It doesn't start off that high, but as you do game-specific tasks and accomplishments, it ramps up pretty rapidly.
Your passion to achieve your goal is quite inspiring, I have to say.
And I have been having a lot of fun with leagues. It's the most fun I've had with RuneScape in a very long time. Like, you know,
Fabulous.
if you've ever played RuneScape or seen RuneScape, you know it's kind of what we call a side monitor game. It's a game you play on a side monitor while you're doing other things, and that's often how I play RuneScape. It's just meant to be a chill, relaxing sort of experience. But it's been really nice to like do something that's a little bit more active in it, because learning I've because of how Leagues works, it unlocks all the bosses and like teleports and regions that your region locks. So you can only go to a set number of regions, but when you unlock those regions, you have access to pretty much all the major content on the get-go. Like, they auto-complete quests for you, they auto-unlock bosses for you. So it's been really fun getting to just explore some content that I have not touched in either years or have not
Nice.
fish. Let's get the fish. Or have touched but haven't seen like what it's like with more recent changes. Particularly, let's see. So my region, for those who are interested, everyone starts off in the main regions of the jungle region, Karamja,
Another knucklehead.
and kind of the rundown kingdom area of Misthalin, which involves Varric and Lumbridge, for those who are
that
familiar
could
with
be.
names. And then you unlock a couple other regions. My regions started off with this place called Zaya, which is just, I figured it would be a good place to just have like casual skilling, and I was totally right. I didn't play any previous leagues, so I'm not certain about this, but it sounds like in previous leagues, Zaya was kind of like, was the only region you could access. So it makes sense that you could basically max your account in one region, and it's a great starting location, which is why I picked it. I figured it would be good for getting the early game kind of points to unlock better perks later on. And for the most part, I was right. I mean, I'm not super familiar with the area, so it was also fun to just kind of explore an area that I haven't seen the full depth of yet.
They had their chance.
And it has a raid, which was the
There
other
we
big
are.
deciding factor, because I would like to try at least one raid during leagues. At this point in recording, I have not done what's called Chambers of Zarek. Oh, there's our Zeus boon. Let's see. Oh, but I can afford both. Excellent.
Should help keep me going.
I guess we'll take Zeus's aid for now to set up for some potential double strike. Let's see. Targeting system. Your special moves slower, or enemies hit by special move slower and take 30% more damage. Delta chamber I don't like. Triple bomb. I think triple bomb would work pretty well for our current build. So yeah, let's take that. You can use your special 3 times in rapid succession. It seems like we are kind of going a special build, but like our special is going to do a lot of damage now. It already did a lot of damage, but now it does triple that damage effectively, because there's no diminishing returns on this. It does mean that I won't get cluster rockets, but I'm okay with that. We don't need cluster rockets to make Eris shine. I think that much is obvious at this point, based on all the other runs I've done with Eris. Not to mention, I just stand in my special, and my rockets all get boosted, get a 75% damage boost. That is the real strength of Eris. If you don't know, when you stand in the AoE of your special,
A palm of
for
power.
4 seconds, all damage is enhanced. All damage. Doesn't matter what source. Damage over time, your base damage. It's a crazy strong modifier. I think I'll just focus on upgrading the special for now, since we have a lot to gain from that still. The diminishing returns, well, yeah, it's like 7% overall, but that's still a lot of damage. Try and not face tank with a ranged weapon if I can avoid it.
Weak.
But anyway, so my regions were Zaya, and then I had planned on going to Asgarnia, which was kind of the other kind of low level area that unlocks a bunch of kind of mid game to just shy of end game combat equipment. Asgarnia. The other reason I really wanted to take Asgarnia was because it was the region that I knew Kiwi was going to take, because I've somehow suckered Kiwi into playing leagues with me, and Asgarnia has one of her favorite items in the game, the cannon. Kiwi loves her giant piss-off cannon because it makes combat a lot easier. It allows you to just plop something down on the ground and watch it shred enemies. And for her, who's really not that big a fan of RuneScape's combat, or combat in general, it takes a lot of the stress associated with the system off of her shoulders, I suppose.
Go, Sisyphus.
I'm popping Boldy here just because I could use a bit of HP. I'm just like my commentary, I'm just running a little bit slow today, so I need the extra help, it seems. I'm also getting a little bit nervous about our current timer.
Time to collect.
That trial seems juicy, but we only have 2 minutes left on the timer. I may have to give that up for the sake of not throwing the run. Let's toss in a Gate of Ixion. That'll hopefully skip us a room. I'm going to take it. While I may lose a Death Defiance to Meg, which will be in its own right kind of disappointing, we got some good potential here. Let's take Poseidon and take his dash.
Just as I thought.
Or his special. You know what? We have Zeus in the mix. We could get Sea Storm. Okay, I like where this is going. This is a rarity upgrade and a 40% damage modifier to our special. The only downside is if it's pushing enemies out of this, it'll push enemies out of the third shot, won't it? Or maybe it won't because the AoE is just too big to avoid. I'm taking this, I think.
A worthy exchange.
Maybe a mistake, we'll see.
I understand you've made your choice, cousin. And I, in turn, now have my family's reputation to uphold.
Isn't Poseidon your family
Time
as
to do
well?
it.
If the reputation you're trying to uphold is that you guys are a vengeful, angry lot, then you're doing a great job, Athena. Keep up the good work, I guess. Anywho, so ultimately my goal in Leagues at this point is to just have fun. I am going to try and aim for kind of the highest tier of reward that you can get from it, namely the, I think it's the Dragon Trophy, which is basically you need to get 60,000 points. And for context, I think you need like 10,000 points to unlock most of the perks for progression in Leagues. So it's roughly 6 times what takes most people most of Leagues to get, I imagine. I'm currently sitting at 30,000 already because I am just hopelessly addicted to RuneScape. I also don't mind just kind of all the task-based things that they offer. It's kind of fun to just have a giant checklist. It was half the fun of what the achievement diaries in Mainscape are like.
Nearly got me.
Let's continue
Not in a great
on
spot.
already, Zagreus. There isn't any point in feuding, and there's much to do before your quest is done.
Alright. Anything? I guess let's take Divine Dash then, just for the safety it provides. I do feel the anti-synergy of cluster bombs with... tough decision. Okay, I'm going to take the Chaos Gate because that won't lose us much time and it offers us a boon. It's going to make Meg a bit harder.
I'm too scratchy.
Oh, what? I'm too low HP and I don't have a way of losing my HP other than letting the timer tick out. I don't think it's worth it. We'll take Zeus here for free. Because, like I said, we're trying to set up for Sea Storm at this point with a special.
I wish you well in your continued quest, and offer my sincerest blessings, and of course my power there, nephew.
Alternatively, I will gladly take his attack as a trade. For now, though, we're getting Static Discharge, and that's also a core part of our damage,
No use.
especially if we do go the route of Sea Storm, so...
Hope I
if
didn't keep
Electo.
you waiting, ladies.
Looks like my prayers to the god of trash have finally been answered, huh?
I'm pretty much guaranteed to lose a Death Defiance here, but oh well.
Not now.
Let me toss a Sisyphus just for the sake of the HP. Like, I'm going to waste it here, but I'm going to take the HP just for the sake of not throwing a Death Defiance this early. Actually, Electo might be pretty easy because I can just kite her and keep her in the blast radius of these.
Time's almost up.
I just take those while I'm here. I just need to kind of dash back and forth between her so she doesn't run away. Oops. I seem to have desynced my rockets, so I can't actually reliably toss all 3 of them out there. Now they should be refunded. Alright, toss out Zeus's call here and finish her off with the attack, I think.
Damn.
Okay, so very slow Tartarus, but we didn't lose our tight deadline and we didn't lose a Death Defiance. Clutched it out pretty well there, I think. Of course, we're starting to get levels on Divine Dash instead of any of the other boons that we would care to see the Mom Pom hit. Do I keep the Palm Blossom on at this point is really the important question. I think we've got enough levels on our special, and since that's going to be the core of our damage, I'm going to try and force Zeus here. Let's see, attack more damage, could take healing. I think I'll save my coin for now. And I have nothing I need to sell, because we don't have that.
Going up.
We don't have Underworld Customs on.
Cheers.
Anyway, I still haven't answered the question. So focusing, my 3 regions were Zaya, Fremennik, and Tiranwin. And like I was saying, I had intended to go to Asgarnia with Kiwi because it's an area that we could both share. It has some good kind of low effort content or early game to mid game content that we could both enjoy that was non-combat, as well as the combat aspects that I would personally enjoy. But when I was not paying attention, I tried to select the jungle region to home teleport to with this little menu that lets you fast travel to the regions you've unlocked. And both Tiranwin and Karamja, the 2 locations, are very green, and I accidentally clicked Tiranwin without reading, and turns out the position to accept the region and lock it in, and there is no takesy-backsies on this, turns out that region is it looks very similar to Karamja. When you don't pay attention, the teleport to location button and the accept this location
Let's get you quickly on your way there, cuz.
button look very similar, and so unfortunately I locked in Tiranwin and couldn't take it back. We'll take Greater Haste here. And Eurydice, sure. I think we probably just take her increased rarity boons perk rather than increased rarity of our current boons, because I think it's going to be too hard to land it on the boons that we care about.
You know this tune, hon? It's one of our old hits.
Oh, it's in the blood. Okay. I like their singing. Okay, here's our Zeus.
Take care, yeah?
And so anyway, because I ended up taking Tiranwin, I had initially planned to do what was it? Mauritania, which has a lot of bosses, a lot of endgame content, and I figured it would be a lot of fun. Plus, it would give me a second raid, what is called Theater of Blood, and that would have been a fun little extra bit to take. But unfortunately, because I really botched things up with taking Tiranwin, I decided to go with Fremennik for 2 reasons. One, construction is my favorite skill in the game, or it was. I think I've maybe realized that it's maybe not that amazing anymore. Although I will say old school RuneScape compared to, I have put most of my time into RuneScape 3. RuneScape 3 refuses to update construction in any meaningful way. Old school RuneScape has not taken that mentality, and it has done a remarkable way of making, or has done a remarkable job in making construction really worth training into the end game, because it unlocks a lot of convenience of quality of life and convenience sort of perk type things. And so my thought process was, let me get access to all of those things, but it turns out a lot of the things that I was aiming for I can't actually access. I can't use, oh wow, okay, so we got Smoldering Air and Sea Storm, or a epic, we don't care about the cast here. Sea Storm it is. 40 damage every time we land our special. Now, I think I'll take the mid-shop. As far as Athena goes, I could take her cast and try to set up for her duo with Zeus, I guess? Or I could go for the shop and try to buy, maybe roll for more Zeus. Do we have our 4 gods? We have Poseidon, Zeus, Athena, and Aphrodite. We do. So, yeah, let's go for the shop and see if there's anything I can buy here. After the shop, I'll probably start sitting on coin unless we're directly offered Zeus or Poseidon boons, because Aphrodite and Athena don't offer too much for me. Poseidon, Floodshot, Razor Shoals, or Hydraulic Might. We'll take the Razor Shoals because that'll give us status privilege going. And look at that, a high rarity Zeus boon in the next room. That'll be great. As far as what I want, probably double strike is the main thing I need at this point, just to really...
I have to say, the Barge of Death is never late.
To up our damage, and then of course his legendary is the other big thing we'll be hunting for at this point. Gonna charge this up and drop a Sisyphus.
Hey, Baldy, gangway. I can't.
Glad that actually hit. I almost splashed him out of the way of that one. We can very reliably get status privilege now because we have both we have Jolted, Sea Storm, or sorry, we have Sea Storm proccing Jolted more specifically from our special, as well as Sea Shoals, and then our attack technically applies a 3rd potential layer with Weak from Aphrodite. All of those guys just got splashed away. I feel like our special will do a great job shredding bosses, but we'll have a little bit more trouble against trash mobs just because they're all getting splashed away, so it's hard to land all 3 shots. That said, our damage is pretty up there right now. Okay, high voltage. Lightning bolt effects deal larger area damage. I think I re-roll once and see if I can get myself double strike.
Different set of choices then.
We didn't get anything now. I suppose I will take Billowing Strength. After using your call, you deal more 24% more damage for 15 seconds. That's still pretty decent, especially for Eris that already has that damage steroid of 75%. more damage is more damage at the end of the day.
More slam dancers.
More slam dancers is more slam dancers at the end of the day. I don't know where we're going with this. Anyway, so unfortunately, because I kind of had to reroute based on that, I did take Fremennik. The house, the main things like the Portal Nexus is a big teleportation. Like it's basically a way to set up a bunch of teleports all in one location, and that still works. That still works, and I can get access to that. Granted, there's only like 1 or 2 locations I'm currently using it for, but still, it's a nice quality of life thing to have. The main thing that I was looking for was something called the Achievement Gallery, which gives you access to a jewelry box. Jewelry, enchanted jewelry in RuneScape offers a lot of teleports to very useful locations. Unfortunately, to be able to enchant that jewelry and make that box, you need access to the wilderness, which is an entirely locked off region, or for me at least, it was a choosable region. I didn't go that region, so can't make the second tier of that, which would have been really useful. And then on top of that, the Spirit Tree network is locked off to me because I haven't taken Kandarin, which is another region that Kiwi will probably take. Apparently, it is the least popular location by a country mile. But for Kiwi, who likes the low effort, kind of slow pace, the like AFK-able content, it seems like a pretty solid region for her. It's low effort task, there's not a lot of bossing focus compared to some of the regions I've chosen. But
Olympus, I accept this message.
ultimately, okay, this is tempting. Your attack, this would be the trade for the attack. I love the Zeus attack on any of the rails because it just works really well with it. I honestly think this is a pretty sizable damage up. Alternatively, I take the low tier double strike for the extra damage. I think honestly I'm taking Lightning Strike because that just makes our
Aphrodite won't mind, will she?
That's going to benefit our DPS a lot, and I can very reliably maintain status privilege even without Aphrodite's attack.
How's the old neck holding up?
Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to attack him with 2 shots, or well, our cast 2 shots, and then cluster bombs, and look at that damage. And not to mention, I should also point out the fact that this attack will just shred his multiple heads here. Like, look at that, gone. Even without using any specials, it's not as fast as using cluster bombs, obviously, but combine the two and these heads get shreds. These heads get shreds, Kiwi. That was coherent English, right? Plus, because the chain lightning bounces to enemies, we are just killing multiple heads at once while dropping our bombs from all the AoE we have. This is a really nice AoE build now. This is what I wanted. It's the main reason I had considered taking the Zeus keepsake, was just for the sake of potentially getting his attack. I'm glad it showed up because I really wanted to kind of like turn my brain off, and this is the most brain off build I can get now. Oh, I forgot about the call. Oops. Bye. You know, if we get Smoldering Air, the Aphrodite Zeus duo, which I've completely locked myself out of without having any of her core boons now, it would synergize very well with Billowing Strength, because Billowing Strength increases our damage every time we use a call, and then Smoldering Air makes it so we can only have one segment of our God Gauge, but it automatically recharges, so it charges up a lot faster. I think at this point, though, it doesn't really matter what I take. I don't have a strong preference here. I don't care about Athena. I don't care about Aphrodite. I guess I'll just take the coin purse so that we have a little bit of extra coin going into Styx. Or I could take it in Styx itself. I think I'll just take it now. That way I have more free room to play with keepsakes in Styx itself. Not going to sell anything here. Moving along.
Get me out of here.
So,
check.
Because I accidentally locked in Tyrion because I wasn't paying attention, I had to switch for Mauritania, which I feel in the long run I probably would have had more fun with, but it would have made it my like kind of
Another
mid to early game.
Night in paradise.
My mid to late game a fair bit rougher. Tyranwen actually has a lot of really good weapons and resources that upgraded my damage pretty substantially, and ultimately the reason why I chose the Fremennik region is because this league is called Raging Echoes. That's the name. And basically the idea is they have created what are called echo bosses, which are meant to be more difficult versions of pre-existing bosses. In Fremennik, those are the Dagannoth Kings, and they drop a set of necklace and ring that gives a ridiculous damage modifier to all damage sources, but particularly it benefits ranged. And when you lock in Tyrion Wind, you open access to a lot of really potentially strong ranged builds, because you get the Bow of Erder or something like that. Everyone just calls it the Bofa, which I just think is a silly but appropriate name for it, to like not have to pronounce the nonsense names that RuneScape is so prone to having.
Right on time.
I keep forgetting to ambrosia him. I am sorry. Attack, reload, or side hustle. Do I re-roll here for greater hate for rush delivery? I think I do.
Not what I need right now.
We did not get it. Second wind though is pretty nice, since we're kind of going into a call-based build. Second wind, after using your call, gain 30% dodge and move speed. Alternatively, I use quick favor for. Let's take quick favor so our god gauge charges up faster.
Moving right along.
If we do end up seeing smoldering air down the road, that'll be a really fun synergy between the two. But anyway, so where was I? So the bow is an extremely strong long-range weapon that a lot of people use as their end-game weapon until they get what are apparently called mega rares. Now, this is something that's completely out of my purview because I have had zero experience with the endgame of old school RuneScape, but mega rares are like the ultimate weapons. They are so unbelievably strong. They kind of carry the rest of the game for you. I mean, there's still a degree of combat that there's a degree of skill that you need for combat, of course, but
that was an amazing day indeed.
But there is an achievement in the game for beating the hardest PvE challenge in the game without a mega rare weapon. So that's kind of like where it's at. It's like to a lot of players, they're kind of required.
Well enough, and may you fare the same.
Or at least they give you a better fighting chance than you typically have. We'll go ahead and take Cyclops Jerky here. We don't need Death Defiance as our HP, so a little bit more damage on the attack, sure. That is, I believe, the end shop. It could be the mid shop, though. Mid shop could offer us more Zeus. Alternatively, we take... You know what? This is not the mid shop because we're being offered a mini boss fight. Honestly, I think I take the upper rarity Aphrodite so that we can potentially set up for Smoldering Air. I think Smoldering Air here is kind of the final icing on the cake for this build, aside from Double Strike and Zeus's Legendary.
I welcome the taste of defeat, Short One. It is akin to feeling alive.
But look at that damage. Oh, you know what? Here, have a Sisyphus. Oh, you know, I really should learn to try and wait on using that until I can land it. Oh man, that bull charge is so much easier to do without Force Overtime in play. Force Overtime 40% just makes it so rough. I don't know why I dashed into him, but here, let's go ahead and drop a call. You know what I need to do? I need to see if I can get a Zeus trial in the rest of Elysium. If I do, I need to remember there is an achievement for using a greater call against a boss. Using an Olympian's greater call against them in their trial. And we still have yet to get that achievement. And we have a pretty good way of getting it now because I can just wait for the god gauge to automatically fill.
Oh, cease fire. I yield.
Nothing to say? Alright, bye, bull.
Tell Theseus I said hi.
Hi, Theseus. Alright, Aphrodite, give me your
Olympus, I
cast, I
accept
guess.
this message.
Or your call. Yeah, your cast. That's what I want. We'll take her cast here so we can set up for Smoldering Air. I see that being a funny, at least an interesting synergy to play into. It's not often that I take Smoldering Air willingly because the greater calls are pretty darn strong. Also, I'm just prone to remembering to spam my call, especially in a build where spamming my call is kind of how I get my DPS boosted. Aside, well, okay, I have so many ways to boost my DPS. It's not really exclusively that, but still. But the Zeus's call is one of the highest damage per second calls in this game, I will admit, I will say. So, as far as where I am in the game at this point, oh my goodness, this is going to be a lot of things all at once. Hold on. I hate teleporting flame chariots. They are so obnoxious to deal with. Alright, so you know what? As far as this build goes, it's definitely not the strongest build, but it's enough for a super casual run at 19 heat. You know, super casual 19 heat. For some players, I know that can be quite a bit. Oh, here's our trial. Okay, we can do it. So we have to take Aphrodite first here, so that I can piss off Zeus.
Whichever god I don't pick won't be pleased.
Alright, what do we take in the meantime? Blown Kiss will make our cast actually sort of usable. Weak effects have longer duration or increased damage against weak afflicted foes. I think, you know what, let's take Sweet Surrender, because that'll make it so our other damage that we're actually going to be using will deal more damage.
I did not restore order to this world and claim the heavens for myself, only to be insulted by my own nephew.
That sounds like a you problem, Zeus. That's not our fault that you did all those
I hate
things.
to do this, Uncle.
Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to kill as many enemies as we need to keep this relatively safe, because we don't want to die while we're waiting for the greater call to charge. And killing some enemies will speed up the charging process. I imagine, given that we're doing some fairly weak enemies starting off, we probably have at least 3 waves of these, so... Alright, we're a quarter of the God Gauge full. We're almost at half. That's good. Just focus on dodging for now. If there are splitters, we'll take care of those first. Because the thing about the splitters is not even that I might accidentally, like, kill them too fast. Or I might kill them too fast. It's that if I dodge around, I have Athena's dash, so I'm going to reflect their projectiles, and I could accidentally kill enemies with them. You know what? As long as I don't kill the Revenants that these guys pop out, I should be able to reliably farm God Gauge on them. So let's just do this. We're achievement hunting just a teensy bit on these guys at their own expense. Right. And now we should have it.
That would fully rearmed.
And go ahead and pop this.
Now you ask my favors, Adrius.
There we go, achievement popped. Bad call, using an Olympian's greater call against them in a trial. That's really funny. It's cute that they have that, actually. We almost died for it, but I'm okay with that. I don't think we're at the point in this run where I have any risk of actual death.
Now, no need to hold such grudges any longer, I suppose. But you just mind yourself around your Uncle Zeus.
Cool, I really don't have that many more achievements left to get. Alright, well, we are kind of going into a very call-focused build somehow. So we'll take that, sure. And then I'm inevitably going to lose a
Those
life here.
tropes are not for you.
I could use Sisyphus again just to get the HP. I don't really want to, though. Oy. Gotta love shield drop and void stones. Very helpful to our overall survival. I'm gonna drop a Zeus call here just for the DPS. Shielders are kind of the antithesis to our current build. They can't block the special, but they can block our attack, which is also a pretty substantial portion of our damage at this point. I mean, it's only a matter of positioning, but when there are a bunch all in the field at once, it makes it a bit difficult.
Useless.
That said, we did not lose a Death Defiance. We're holding on to our life through this run very hard. All right, we'll take the second hammer and see what it gives. I wish I had noticed that shot before I committed to the room. I would have bought an HP if they had one. Oh well. It's not like we are hurting for coins, so I'm sure there will be things I can buy, even a Death Defiance if I really need to from a shop. I'd rather not buy that, save my money for fun things in the sticks. I am probably just gonna get hit by like the stupidest thing and lose my last life. That's fine though. I mean, that should have done it. I always misjudge the range on those spears. So anyway, let's see. What can I talk about now? So, as far as old school goes, so I did just beat the Inferno, which was fun. Granted, it is a Leagues win, so it's a little bit less of a big deal, but it's still a fun kind of big deal overall. Like, it's meant to be a really genuine challenge, and it felt like it. I cheesed it, so I have at this point in the game, I mentioned I have a lot of points, and that means I've gotten a lot of like the big endgame perks that you can get. And most importantly, I got something called Last Stand, which is a boon that is just absurdly broken. The way it works is when you die, you don't die. You become invulnerable for 10 seconds. All the damage that you deal, you heal back.
Blood and darkness.
And your stats are temporarily boosted by like 100, which in RuneScape is basically double. Okay, Rocket Bomb. So we can have triple fire Rocket Bomb. Okay, I think that's what we have to take, right? Let's see how this looks. Okay, this seems good. This seems like it'll be a lot easier to land too. Coin or HP? I am a little lower on the HP scale, but I don't think especially if I need to pull back and start just spamming triple bomb, I think I'm fine. It is funny to watch these guys just get rocketed away.
Can't do that.
Team Rocket blast off at the speed of light. Surrender now or prepare to fight. Zagreus, that's right. Anyway, the Ultimately, right now, having just gotten my Inferno Cape, having gotten 30,000 points roughly, my goal is just to get to 60,000, build up my house, just because, I may not have everything. I did choose the Fremennik region to have access to a stonemason who lets you kind of really build up your house a bit more on the fancy side. And then on top of that, just kind of experience all the boss achievements that I can within reason. I'm not going to go crazy. Like, I'm not going to go grinding a boss for 500 kills just for the sake of like getting the full experience that way. But things like trying a new boss that I've never done, I'm going to fight every boss in the region that I can just to say I've experienced them. We'll take the end shop here just in case we get another Zeus boon. I am still looking for Smoldering Air at this point. It is Poseidon. Poseidon still has something to offer us.
I'll take it.
Wave pounding. There we are. Your boons with knockaway effects deal bonus damage to bosses by 20%. That's exactly the boon that we were looking for. All right, let's go knock some sense into the heroes.
Care for a rematch?
I see my brethren failed to thwart your advance. Well, you shall go no further.
Neither will you. Pew, pew, pew. I guess I probably should have popped their damage control shields before I launched my triple rockets, but it's fine. This overall feels like a pretty decent build, I would say. Asterius, there you go. Here, have a cast. Now I deal 10% more damage to him because of Aphrodite's passive that we got from her. I wonder if I just go into Zeus and only press the call button and see what happens. I mean, I'm down a Death Defiance, so maybe I shouldn't get so ballsy against him, but it would be kind of fun. Here's a greater call. Let's go ahead and just melt the Minotaur. Oh, or get melted by the Minotaur, that's fine. Fortunately, with him spinning, I can't go near him anymore. Oh goodness, I'm lucky that was the last of his spin because I would have lost my Death Defiance there.
Asterius!
You're next, King.
Pew, pew, pew!
A solid hit.
Pew, pew, pew! Yeah, that feels pretty strong, I would say.
Oh, no, it's ruined!
Hello?
Gods on high, attend me!
The only attention you're getting at Theseus is a big bomb in the face that you blocked. Okay. Can we not do this? Oh, hold on. There we go.
I am still...
I have held on to a Death Defiance that I did not deserve to hold on to so many times through this run.
I dedicate this victory to you, good Shade.
All right, let's heal up.
I shall stop you by my own hand.
Well, we'll just take the lucky tooth here, I think. Play it safe.
Welcome you to try.
And then I'm not going to sell any of these. Not that I particularly need them.
What I need.
Do I really need to buy a Death Defiance? I mean, it gives up the chance of being able to afford a Titan Blood. Maybe. Let's take it. Let's be silly and just spam our call.
Again. Courtesy of the Pact.
We'll see how far we can get with just spamming the call. I think that's my plan. Especially if we get Smoldering Air. If we don't get Smoldering Air, I still think I can maintain the idea of doing silly things with this. But both Poseidon and Zeus have other boons that we haven't gotten yet that could increase the rate at which we gain God Gauge. Where's our fish? It must be down over here. There it is. Fortunately, we do not get offered a Titan Blood. We've only been seeing diamonds in the shop lately. I mean, I'm not going to complain. We need to buy all those music tracks, but maybe we go on a little bit of a shopping spree. Since this is our super casual episode, maybe I just go full casual and go on a shopping spree. We'll see. What do we have here? Poseidon and Zeus and Athena. I've kind of forgot about Athena. She has not shown up through most of this run at this... did she show up at all in Elysium? Anyway, let's go ahead and take Poseidon first.
Maybe this
Since
way.
we've got the mini-boss chamber is a little bit faster. And with our damage, it's going to be more than a little bit easier. Chain Lightning does make pretty quick work of these vermin. Ultimately, though, it's been really nice just kind of casually hanging out on RuneScape with you, Kiwi, and I'm glad you decided to join me. I know that RuneScape isn't necessarily your biggest cup of tea. It just... MMOs as a whole just don't seem to be your thing, and that's okay. That's really, really okay. Like, there are games that we enjoy that we can play together and enjoy better.
It's reloading.
And, I mean, speaking of which, I think I've been thinking about maybe we could play some Hyrule Warriors sometime soon. We've been enjoying the Warriors series. We did Age of Calamity, and then we did the Fire Emblem Warriors game that came out for 3 Houses, and enjoyed a fair bit of that. It's a nice kind of like, you get into a routine and you don't have to think too hard sort of game.
No, bad vermin, bad.
Okay, then. We're just sending Tony all the way to the moon. Drop our God Gauge. I'm going to drop Sisyphus here for the HP because I'm a little worried that Tony might do a little bit more damage than I want to take. That said, it isn't hard to just splash him away with the special here, so maybe that was a little bit unnecessarily defensive. I don't know if you saw that, but the food was kind of glitching on the ground there for a moment. Apparently, Rocket Bomb does not like to aim at Tony. Oh my goodness. I think it's just he's, like, digging and going invulnerable very quickly.
It shall be so.
Wow, we get God Gauge very fast with this build. I think I got hit for a 12 right at the last second there, which is really lame.
That vicious little...
I agree. Alright, here we go. Boiling Point. Your God Gauge charges up faster when you take damage, plus 50%.
Let's make some waves.
Alright, so somehow we have gotten into a very strong call build. Let us take Zeus and see if we can get double strike. I will re-roll for it. That is definitely a boon worth re-rolling for with our current build path. See, this is what I meant at the start. Like, it's a super casual run, but we're ending on a semi almost. I wonder if I can AFK this a little bit, like a one-button AFK sort of build. We'll see. I might have to position myself around a wall, and I'll also have to wait for Hades to get close, because if Hades isn't near me, the call isn't going to do anything. That's the biggest issue with Zeus's call, is that you have to be close to your enemy to be able to reliably use it.
Not yet.
But I guess maybe it would have been nice to have taken the rather than the your God Gauge fills up faster from Hermes, taking the you get 30% dodge chance from your God call, because then we would have had a little bit of extra survivability for this sort of a build. But I had no idea this was the route we were going to go, you know?
It's no use.
Let's see, 2 chamber 6? No, we do not. Okay. I do need to be careful of these guys' projectiles, because I would really prefer not losing my Death Defiance if I can avoid it. It's very likely that we will see a 3 chamber Styx, and I'm okay with that.
Back.
I'll go for the coin chamber next, I think, so we can maybe buy some Aphrodite boons and try to aim for Smoldering Air if I can. What hit me? I didn't even see the... That must have been a satyr. There you are. I didn't even see it. Alright, here, let's drop a call so that we just get a bunch of damage on them. I foresee that the biggest issue with this build, if I'm going to try and go for a semi-AFK build against Zeus, is just, again, phase 1, as always. Phase 1 is always my bane, if you will. Oh, gosh. I am a little sketched out by this here. Let's drop these. Get this as quick as possible. Ah, they clipped me. Darn. Oh, well.
Oh, that hurt.
This is why you do the mini-boss chambers, honestly, because it's actually somehow a little bit safer to just focus. If you have the DPS, it's way easier to just DPS down a mini-boss than to deal with so many enemies shooting at you from different angles. High voltage, storm lightning. All right, we reroll once and see what we get. Either smoldering air or double strike, more importantly. We got none of it, but high voltage I guess I'll take. Yeah, we'll take high voltage. Makes our lightning drops a little bit bigger AoE wise, which will make the call a bit easier to land, I suppose. Let's go ahead and buy our diamond, and then if we do get enough coin to afford the Aphrodite boon, we'll see if we can land Smoldering Air still. But ultimately, Kiwi, thank you for playing with me. And again, if it's not your cup of tea, that's okay. You gave it a chance, and that's all I can ask for. There are games that you like that I don't quite have as my cup of tea, and there are games that I like that aren't quite yours, and I think that's just the nature of being who we are and being a human being. We don't have to like everything that the other likes. That's kind of the fun part about a relationship, is that you see the things that are... You get to learn about new things, see if they are things that would interest you, and if not, well, no harm, no foul. You gave it a try, and if it's not for you, it's not for you. It's more important that we find the things that we do enjoy sharing, and we've found a lot of things that fall into that category, and I couldn't be happier about that. It doesn't have to be everything. It just has to be something. And
huge three-headed hound.
boy, do we have a lot of something. A little bit of insanity, a lot of fun.
Here's the fee.
Baking. I mean, I went on a whole tangent about bread in the last Pokemon episode. All right, I think let's take Clouded Judgment because that's for our silly gimmick build. And there, it's Sweet Nectar. How cute. How very cute. All right, we're taking it. It's completely useless. Let's just go and fight Hades.
Fang-bearing Cerberus directs all three of its attentions toward the Satyr Sack.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into Hades. I am going to AFK in a corner of my choosing.
No.
And we're going to start dropping calls and see what happens. If I get below 2, if I lose 2 Death Defiances, that's when I kick into high gear and start fighting him normally. That'll be our rule.
Oh, hi, Father.
But you know, it's only a 19 Hades fight. I'm fine. We don't even have extreme measures 4 on.
I was just thinking on when last I vanquished you. Come, refresh my memory.
All right, so I'm going to choose this upper left corner over here, I think. All right, come get me, Dad. Starting with the darkness already.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, wait, I forgot. Let's do this.
Myself open.
So I get like a full god gauge. All right, I can already see this isn't sustainable, so I'm never gonna. Never mind. I'm bailing out. Let's just enjoy the damage that we got for what it is. We have just a really good like all arounder run. Jack, what is it? A jack of all trades, master of none, but better than a master of one sort of build. I'll save up my greater call for the second half of this phase, and we'll just see how much damage that does. He should be clipping into that next phase very soon. All right, here's what we do. Let's see if I don't give up this Death Defiance. That's the real mark of our trial. Of course, we get the Void Stones, and so much for surviving that, but whatever. I mean, I still will take a Void Stone over a Chariot any day. The Chariots in his first phase are just not a fun time for Jeff to have. Frankly, especially with forced overtime when they're just moving too fast to avoid, they are very rough to deal with.
Come on, get up.
You know what we'll do? We'll finish him with the Greater Call. How about that?
Enough of this.
Oh, hey, lasers. I think I can hit him from here if I aim properly. Or, nope, never mind. Couldn't hit him with anything, because auto-target would not let me aim for anything other than the wall, because I was too close to him. I guess it was like auto-targeting him. Oh, hello, I got stuck. All right, there's our Greater Call. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, it's not our Greater Call. That's fine. We will generate enough energy for a Greater Call any second now, especially if I take out his little gem friends. Oh, hello. Go ahead and take that out. Oh, hello. Those are some clean dodges. All right, let's at least finish him with the Greater Call active. That'll be my minimum.
Oh, you watch this, young man. Die already.
We'll just stand on top of him and dash around. Maybe this doesn't do as much damage as I wanted to give it credit for. All right, I'm in sketchy territory, so we're just ending this fight. Never mind. It's a good thing I gave up on the idea of that gimmick build pretty quickly, because I don't think we would have won it. Oh well, super casual run, right?
It seems I was no match for you this time. I'll get you yet.
Look, my goal was to have a very casual run. I just wanted to scratch the itch of I'm in the mood for Hades, and I accomplished just that. You know what? For once, the end screen picked the correct boons. I think this is exactly what we need to show. It was cute that we had kind of a call thing going, but at the end of the day, this was really where all our damage came from, and I'm okay with showing it this way. So, that's our 60th win streak. Not bad. I love that I'm at the point in this game with like my game knowledge and skill that I can just take the piss out of Hades.
Beyond this point lies such a horrifying fate that we had better speak no more of it for now.
Like, I can just kind of casually do whatever against Hades, and there's nothing he can do against me. I mean, there is. I clearly was eating a little bit of his spear a little too hard there, but like when I switch the brain on of, okay, maybe I should just get the kill and not pussyfoot around too much, I can pretty reliably do it. It feels kind of nice.
Thanks for dying. Nice to see you here again.
Likewise, Hypnos. I mean, objectively speaking, I can only do that because I don't have forced overtime and
7:48.
extreme measures. I can only do this because I don't have extreme measures 4 or forced overtime 2 on, but still.
Achilles, what happened between Nyx and Dusa? Dusa's really gone?
Nyx cut her off, lad. I'm sorry. I know you cared about her. I was as surprised as you when I found out. I knew that Nyx had her concerns about Dusa's propensity to overwork herself, but this wasn't the step I was expecting.
Propensity to overwork herself? You really think that's what this was about? I can't shake the feeling it's my fault. Nyx didn't want her talking to me, as though she's beneath me or something. What am I going to do?
Look, I don't have all the information on this one, and neither do you from the sound of things. Nyx loves you and respects you. I trust she would want to know how this affects you.
I'll talk to her.
I really appreciate how, like, supportive Achilles is to Zagreus in this game.
Cerberus is preoccupied with scratching and biting at himself.
Closest thing he has to a supportive father figure,
seeing you.
at least early on. Give pets to the best boy for good luck RNG or for good run RNG on the next playthrough. But I am.
You're interrupting me during my time at work.
Achilles is constantly a voice of reason in this game, and I very much respect the way they wrote him for that reason. We'll take another ambrosia for 10 nectar, sure.
Give me the current special.
Damn you, Zagreus. She was my friend, and now she's gone.
Wow, everyone's upset about Dusa being let go.
You mean Dusa? Like I had anything to do with that. It's Nyx you should be cross with, not me.
I don't think so. Nyx warned you. Ugh, you know I can't go to her myself about this, so fix it.
Oh, trust me, we will.
The spice is working out all right.
I am glad that there are characters that
latest
are
haul.
upset by Dusa leaving, though, particularly Meg, because we've seen them interact, but it's nice to actually see Meg address Dusa as her friend. Right, so we were gonna say this is the super casual episode. We're gonna buy some stuff. All right, let's see. First off,
new piece of music.
Right, okay, I buy the music in this shop over here. So court music. We'll start with the most expensive ones and then work our way down. River of Flame.
Approved. Can hardly wait to listen to this one.
I'm assuming that's the Asphodel theme. Oh, right, there are little descriptions. Let's see. Through Asphodel, about a once lush meadows now a vast in flames.
Here's the fee. Not going to say no to more music.
Then I guess we can just go in order. Final expense, commission expressly for the Stygian boatman. So this must be the shop theme.
Load up the old music stand.
Then we've got Death and I, a brief and frankly unhappy piece of that Lord Hades enjoys.
Let's go with this. Should check the music stand to hear this one.
I don't know if this is the house contractor or Orpheus's take on these. Wretched shades in memory of lives snuffed out and sent to this realm.
Let's do it. Excited to give this one a listen.
The Bloodless, in testament to the wrathful souls serving Lord Hades.
How about this contractor?
The Bloodless is kind of the
more music to soothe the senses.
The Bloodless is the generalized term for the skeletons down in Asphodel. The Painful Way, about a quick, turbulent trip to down the river Styx. So I assume that's maybe the little jingle that plays when you die.
Material for the music stand.
Mouth of Styx, the hideous gloom of Tartarus in musical form. So Tartarus is
I
theme.
don't see why not. Diamonds for a piece of music seems like a fair exchange.
Definitely, by modern day sensibilities, that's absolutely worth it. Out of Tartarus, were there a way out, this piece would be about it.
Contractor, work approved. Diamonds for a piece of music seems like a fair exchange.
I assume either Meg's theme, Meg's battle theme, or the like kind of midpoint between floors where you can change out your keepsakes and such. Scourge of the Furies. Okay, this is the fight music for the Aranese. In tribute to the well-feared Aranese.
Contractor, I have another job.
I hope I'm pronouncing that okay.
No to more music.
Primordial Chaos, obviously Chaos's theme. Ode to the oft-forgotten originator of all things.
Let's do it. More music for the music stand is always good.
Final Expense Payback Mix. Commissioned expressly for the Stygian boatman. This is his battle theme for...
Here's the commission.
Charon's...
Music to soothe the senses.
Charon's battle theme, clearly. And finally, Good Riddance, a rousing celebration of the afterlife. The song that we've listened to so many times, and I can't express more that it is probably my favorite song in this game.
Contractor, work approved.
It's such
I think I'm going to enjoy listening to this piece.
It's such a pretty song, and I love the duet that they sing together between Orpheus and Eurydice. Theme Infernal. So I guess we are out of uses for diamonds, so I can start converting them to ambrosia and then Titan blood from there. But let's go ahead and buy Theme Infernal. Decorative theme invokes infernal might and unbearable heat.
Here's the fee. They say this one's the hottest style this side of Elysium.
Who are these self-appointed judges, I would like to know?
So, what did that actually do?
Get where I can see you.
Oh, maybe it's this. Maybe it changes the painting back here. That would be my guess, but here's a way to check. We have 48 ambrosia. I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit. Theme Sonorous. Evokes soaring harmonies and inspiration.
Here you go. I rather like this style, so let's go ahead and make it official.
To trifles such as that, in times such as these.
Okay, I have no idea what it does then, because it didn't change the thing back here. I am unclear what that has done. But I guess we'll find out eventually, maybe? Probably I'll find it and see it and be like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. Now let's go ahead and buy some more house decor. Let's see. Columns Ominous. Sets bone-laced columns to support the house.
Approved. I think those columns still could use some sprucing up.
The columns were just fine the way they were.
This one hallway just looks so damn extra, and I love it. It's almost a bit gaudy, but get it, Kiwi? It looks a little gaudy. Columns Divine makes the columns similar to those of Olympus.
Contractor, I have another job.
We're definitely switching back to bones after this.
Things up even the slightest bit around here.
Who requested that?
Yeah, this episode is just going to be called a very casual run, and I'm okay with that. Sometimes you just need a casual run to take the edge off, just hang out and chill. Mosaic Minoan gives the Princess Chambers an exotic atmosphere.
Let's go with this one then. Nothing like a mosaic depicting my archenemy in the Bull of Minos to spur me on.
Do give the champion of Elysium my best regards when next you're slain by him.
Cute. I don't think you heard the first half of that, but he said, give the champion of Elysium my regards when next you are slain by him. Mosaic Chthonic, give the Princess Chamber a homely atmosphere.
An intricate mosaic just above my bed chambers should make having to go in feel less bad, I think.
No mosaic shall eliminate your shame, boy.
No mosaic shall eliminate your shame, boy. Flower Vase Lilac adds a splash of color to the east wing.
A nice floral arrangement ought to lighten up the mood a little bit.
You would associate my house with flowers, boy.
Those are pretty, and there are flowers associated with death. There are many flowers associated with death.
I don't see why not. Perhaps a rich green hue for the drapery will feel a little homelier.
And finally, from the Great Hall, Drapery Azure gives the drapery a hue reminiscent of the sea.
How about this, contractor? How about a moody blue color of some sort for the drapery there?
A garish hue.
I think it matches Nick's pretty well. All right, now we have a bunch of stuff to unlock for the West Hall. We've already gotten all the bed chambers checked off, it seems. Okay, they put a little check mark on the tab when you've bought all the things. Oh, we do have things that we can buy for more diamonds. Interesting. Prison Sphere Revolting reflects light in a frankly upsetting pattern.
We'll go with this.
Oh, it's a new disco ball.
This is just the sort of outlandish purchase that makes me briefly feel slightly better about myself.
We know all about those, Kiwi.
I pity those who have depended on our lounge for its formal, understated atmosphere.
I pity them too, Hades. Shelf Vintage reinforces the long-depleted honor bar.
Let's go with this one, then. This one's for all the solitary shades hanging around forever in the lounge.
How I suppose no work shall ever be complete.
I wouldn't complete work if I could just spend it all day on snack time.
Approved. These adorable little creatures forced to live in a cage ought to lighten the mood.
Oh, hey.
Those bats are for reconnaissance, not for your mood.
I didn't read the description on that one. Hold on, where is it? It'd be over here somewhere. Bat cage, all-seeing. Houses an obedient colony of surveillance bats. All right. You know what? I think I'm gonna end it here, Kiwi. We've bought a lot of things. Let's just buy the really expensive things so we can speed it along, I guess. Portrait Princess depicts the likeness of a Cretan princess.
Let's do it.
Or a Cretan.
Every self-respecting house
no, it
needs
is
a
Crete.
portrait of a girl from Crete.
Yeah, it is Cretan.
Another tastelessly constructed piece.
And then final purchase for the evening. Landscape Elysium depicts the fields reserved for the greatest souls.
Contractor, I have another job. A painting of the finest spot in all the underworld seems suitable to have in here.
All right. Ooh, that is pretty.
Why settle for a painting when you could just go get yourself killed there now?
That's a really good point, Hades. Let's go do that. All right, Kiwi, let's go do our round out, say goodnight to Skelly, and end this filthy casual episode. So, Skelly, your final words?
come back.
Less talking, more socking.
Trying to bore me to death with all this chit-chat, pal?
Darn. All right, we tried. And there is the sword.
Mean knife you got there.
Yeah, it is. But with all that said, Kiwi, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're sleeping, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and I will see you in the next one for some more Hades fun.
All right, back to work.